Today we're talking about ceremonial cacao, not chocolate, not cocoa powder, but pure cacao in its original form. This plant has been used for thousands of years, and modern research now confirms many of the effects people felt long before science existed. We'll cover what cacao actually does in the body, benefits from it, who should avoid it, how to prepare it correctly, and why ceremonial cacao is completely different from chocolate. Let's begin with what cacao truly is. What ceremonial cacao actually is. Ceremonial cacao is made from whole cacao beans that are ground slowly on stone and heated only at low temperatures. This method preserves the natural oils, minerals, and bioactive compounds of the cacao bean. No sugar, milk, emulsifiers, or flavoring agents are added. Nothing is removed from the bean, and nothing artificial is introduced. It is simply cacao in its most complete form. Because ceremonial cacao is not processed at high heat and is not chemically treated, it retains a wide range of natural compounds that have measurable physiological effects. These include theobromine. Theobromine is a mild cardiovascular stimulant that improves blood circulation. Research from the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition shows that theobromine can widen blood vessels and increase blood flow without creating the anxious or jittery feeling associated with caffeine. Anandamide. Anandamide is an endocannabinoid produced naturally by the human body. Pure cacao contains both anandamide and compounds that slow its breakdown. This can create a gentle sense of ease and emotional balance. A study published in the British Journal of Clinical Pharmacology notes that cacao influences the body's endocannabinoid system, which plays a key role in mood regulation. Phenylethylamine. Phenylethylamine is associated with focus, motivation, and positive emotional states. A study in the Journal of Neurochemistry explains that phenylethylamine supports the release of neurotransmitters related to attention and mood. Flavanols. Cacao is naturally rich in flavanols, which are powerful antioxidants. Cacao. Trials conducted by Harvard University and published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition show that cacao flavanols improve vascular function, support healthy blood pressure levels, and increase oxygen delivery to the brain. This directly contributes to clearer thinking and steadier mental energy. Magnesium. Cacao is one of the highest natural food sources of magnesium. Magnesium supports muscle relaxation, nerve function, and stress reduction. Research published in the journal Nutrients confirms that magnesium deficiency is linked to anxiety, muscle tension, and poor sleep, making cacao's magnesium content especially beneficial. Tryptophan. Tryptophan is an amino acid the body uses to produce serotonin, which is involved in emotional stability and feelings of well-being. Because ceremonial cacao contains tryptophan, along with supportive cofactors, it may help promote calmness and improved mood. Natural antioxidants and healthy fats, these support cellular repair, reduce inflammation, and help stabilize the digestion and absorption of cacao's active compounds. The healthy fats also slow the release of theobromine. It's creating a gradual and steady effect rather than a spike. When all of these compounds remain intact, ceremonial cacao produces a unique combination of clarity, gentle alertness, and calm presence. This effect is fundamentally different from the stimulation of coffee or the sugar-driven energy of commercial chocolate. Ceremonial cacao remains a whole plant substance, and its influence on the cardiovascular system and nervous system has been documented through both traditional use and modern scientific research. A brief history and why people used cacao. Archaeological research shows that cacao has been used in Mesoamerica for more than 3,000 years. Pottery vessels containing cacao residue were discovered in the Ulua Valley of Honduras and in regions that are now Guatemala and southern Mexico. These findings were published in studies from the Proceedings of the National Academy of Sciences, confirming that cacao was consumed as early as 1100 to 1500 BCE. The Maya and the Aztec prepared cacao as a drink and as a sweet food. Pure cacao is naturally bitter, which indicates that they were not seeking sweetness. Instead, they valued the physiological and psychological effects that followed its consumption. Historical records and oral traditions described several consistent experiences observed after drinking cacao. People reported enhanced alertness, a noticeable improvement in mood, clearer thinking, and a warm sensation in the chest area. They also found it easier to express emotions and communicate with others after consuming cacao. These effects were stable and repeatable, which is why cacao became a central part of both daily life and ceremonial life. Cacao served practical purposes as well. It was used by scribes, traders, and workers who needed sustained focus over long hours. It supported rituals that required attention and presence, such as coming-of-age ceremonies, marriage agreements, and community decision-making. Cacao was also used in moments of emotional transition, for example, during grief, personal reflection, or reconciliation between individuals. Ethnographic studies, including reports published in the Journal of Ethnopharmacology, explain that cacao's role in these societies was both functional and social, supported cognitive clarity and emotional regulation, which helped community members communicate more effectively and maintain group cohesion. Modern scientific research now explains many of the effects ancient people described: increased circulation from theobromine, improved mood from anandamide and phenylethylamine, and enhanced cognitive function from cacao flavanols match the experiences recorded in ancient texts and artwork. In other words, the reasons ancient cultures use cacao align closely with what we understand through contemporary science. They notice the effects through lived experience, and today, those same effects can be measured and explained. Cacao and chocolate? Why they are not the same. Ceremonial cacao and commercial chocolate come from the same plant, but they are fundamentally different products. Their nutritional profiles, chemical compositions, and physiological effects are not comparable. Ceremonial cacao is made from 100% cacao beans that are stone ground and heated only at low temperatures. This method preserves the natural cacao butter, the active phytonutrients, and the full spectrum of minerals and bioactive compounds. No sugar, milk, stabilizers, or flavoring agents are added, because it remains in its whole food form. Ceremonial cacao retains the biochemical substances responsible for its effects on the cardiovascular system, the nervous system, and mood regulation. Commercial chocolate is produced through an industrial process that changes the cacao substantially. Many chocolate products contain only 20 to 50% cacao. The remaining ingredients normally include refined sugar, milk, powder, vegetable oils, emulsifiers such as soy, lecithin, and natural or artificial flavorings. During manufacturing, cacao is often roasted at high temperatures. Research published in the Journal of Agricultural and Food Chemistry shows that high heat processing can destroy 60 to 90% of the flavanols that make cacao beneficial for cardiovascular and cognitive health. These flavanols, along with theobromine, anandamide, and other compounds, are responsible for cacao's measurable physiological effects. When most of these compounds are lost through processing, the result is a product that delivers calories and sweetness, but not the health benefits associated with cacao in its unprocessed form. Chocolate produces a rapid feeling of pleasure primarily because of its sugar content. Sugar triggers a quick release of dopamine, which creates a short-lived sense of reward. This effect fades quickly and often leads to cravings for more. Ceremonial cacao produces a very different experience. Its effects come from its natural chemistry, not from sugar. Studies from Harvard University and the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition have shown that cacao flavanols improve blood flow, support vascular function, and influence cognitive performance. Theobromine promotes gentle alertness. Magnesium supports relaxation of the nervous system. For these reasons, choosing chocolate for health purposes is ineffective. Awkward. Chocolate is designed as a sweet treat. Ceremonial cacao is a whole plant substance with documented physiological benefits. It should not be viewed as interchangeable. Why cacao feels different, the body sensations, and the science behind them. Many people are surprised the first time they drink ceremonial cacao because the experience feels noticeably different from coffee, tea, or chocolate. The sensations that follow are subtle but very clear, and they are consistent for many individuals. These effects are not produced by sugar or artificial stimulants. They are the result of how the natural chemistry of cacao interacts with the cardiovascular system, the nervous system, and the brain. Within several minutes of drinking ceremonial cacao, a warm sensation often appears in the center of the chest. This is not an emotional metaphor. It is a physical response caused by increased circulation, theobromine, which is present in high concentration in cacao. Widens blood vessels and increases blood flow to the heart region. Studies in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition confirm that theobromine produces measurable vasodilation, meaning the blood vessels expand, allowing more blood to move through them. This physiological change can be felt directly as warmth, or a gentle sense of expansion in the chest. At the same time, many people notice that their thinking becomes clearer and more organized. This happens because cacao flavanols improve blood flow to the brain. Now, clinical trials from Harvard University have demonstrated that cacao flavanols enhance oxygen delivery to areas of the brain linked to attention and executive function. As circulation improves, cognitive performance can become steadier and more focused. Another common experience is a sense of calm alertness. Ceremonial cacao contains theobromine rather than high levels of caffeine. Theobromine stimulates the cardiovascular system gently, without overstimulating the central nervous system. As a result, people often feel awake and present, but without the restlessness or rapid heartbeat that caffeine can cause. A shift in emotional awareness is also frequently reported. Cacao contains anandamide and phenylethylamine, compounds that influence mood regulation. Anandamide interacts with the body's endocannabinoid system, which plays an important role in emotional balance. Phenylethylamine supports the production of neurotransmitters associated with motivation, focus, and positive mood. A study in the Journal of Neurochemistry highlights the role of these compounds in shaping emotional state and mental clarity. These biochemical actions work together to create a distinctive combination of effects. The body feels warm and open, the mind feels clear, and emotions feel more accessible without becoming overwhelming. This combination is why ceremonial cacao has been used historically for situations requiring presence and emotional steadiness. The experience is not intense or dramatic, it is a steady, measurable shift created by natural compounds that remain intact only when cacao is kept in its unprocessed whole form. The science behind the heart-opening effect. The phrase heart-opening effect is used frequently when people describe ceremonial cacao, but the experience is anchored in measurable physiological processes rather than symbolism. The sensation comes from the way cacao influences the cardiovascular system, the nervous system, and several neurotransmitter pathways. One of the central contributors is theobromine. Theobromine is the primary stimulant in cacao, and it acts mainly on the cardiovascular system. Clinical studies published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition demonstrate that theobromine widens blood vessels and increases blood flow. When blood flow increases in the region around the heart, people may feel warmth or a sense of gentle pressure expanding outward. This is the physical origin of the heart-opening sensation. Another important compound is anandamide. Anandamide is an endocannabinoid produced by the body that influences mood, emotional regulation, and the stress response. Cacao contains anandamide, as well as compounds that inhibit the enzymes responsible for breaking it down. This means the anandamide remains active in the body for a longer period of time. Research published in the British Journal of Clinical Pharmacology describes the role of anandamide in creating a sense of calm, emotional ease, and reduced tension. When emotional pressure decreases, people may interpret the experience as a feeling of opening or being more receptive. Phenylethylamine contributes as well. Phenylethylamine supports the release of neurotransmitters connected to motivation, focus, and positive mood. According to findings reported in the Journal of Neurochemistry, phenylethylamine can heighten emotional awareness and make it easier to access one's own internal state. This does not create euphoria, but it can make emotions feel clearer and more approachable. Magnesium which is abundant in ceremonial cacao, plays a supportive role by relaxing muscles and calming the nervous system. Research from the journal Nutrients highlights the importance of magnesium for balancing the stress response. When the body relaxes, the emotional system often becomes more flexible and responsive. This creates the internal conditions that allow people to feel more open and connected. Cacao flavanols add another layer. Flavanols help improve endothelial function, meaning they support the ability of blood vessels to dilate and contract efficiently. Several studies, including work conducted at Harvard University, show that cacao flavanols improve blood flow to the brain and support cognitive performance. Enhanced circulation supports clearer thinking and a steadier mental state, which together contribute to a grounded sense of presence. When these mechanisms combine, the result is a set of sensations that many people describe as heart-opening. Warmth from vasodilation, calmness from anandamide, emotional receptiveness from phenylethylamine, relaxation from magnesium, all converge to produce a distinctive and recognizable experience. The effect is subtle but clearly noticeable. It is not symbolic or imaginary. It is a real physiological response that occurs when cacao is consumed in its pure, minimally processed form. How to prepare ceremonial cacao. Preparing ceremonial cacao correctly is important because the temperature and method influence how many of the natural compounds remain active. The goal is not to create a sweet beverage but to preserve the integrity of the cacao, so its physiological effects are maintained. To prepare a standard serving, you will need cacao paste, or cacao blocks, that are 100% pure. A typical amount for a daily or moderate dose session ranges from 15 to 20 grams. For a stronger session, 30 to 40 grams may be used, depending on individual sensitivity. Begin by placing the cacao into a cup or a small pot. Heat water until it is hot, but not boiling. Water that is too hot can degrade some of the flavanols and other heat-sensitive compounds. Research published in the Journal of Food Science shows that extremely high temperatures reduce the concentration of beneficial antioxidants in cacao. For this reason, water that is just below boiling point is recommended. Pour a small amount of the hot water over the cacao and stir until it forms a thick, smooth paste. This step helps the cacao dissolve evenly without separating. Once the paste is formed, add more hot water gradually and continue stirring until the mixture reaches your desired consistency. Some people prefer a thicker drink, while others prefer a lighter texture. If you choose to add spices or sweeteners, this is the stage to include them. Cinnamon or a very small amount of cayenne pepper can complement the natural flavor, and a small amount of honey or maple syrup can soften the bitterness. These ingredients are optional and do not affect the physiological properties of the cacao. As long as they are used in modest amounts, stir the drink thoroughly to ensure the cacao, butter and solids are fully blended. When prepared correctly, ceremonial cacao will have a smooth texture and a rich natural aroma, can be consumed immediately after preparation. This method protects the natural oils, minerals, and bioactive compounds that make ceremonial cacao distinct from processed cocoa products. By using moderate temperatures and gradual mixing, you preserve the qualities that support cardiovascular function, cognitive clarity, and emotional balance. Benefits of ceremonial cacao. Ceremonial cacao provides several measurable benefits that come from its natural chemical composition and its effect on the cardiovascular and nervous systems. These benefits are supported by modern scientific research, including work from Harvard University, the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition, and various peer-reviewed studies in nutrition and neurology. The first major benefit is improved cardiovascular function. Cacao is rich in flavanols, which help the body produce nitric oxide. Nitric oxide relaxes blood vessels and improves their ability to dilate. Studies from the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition show that cacao flavanols support healthy blood pressure levels and improve endothelial function, which is essential for overall heart health. A second benefit is improved cognitive performance. Increased blood flow to the brain can enhance focus, attention, and mental clarity. Research from Harvard Medical School has demonstrated that cacao flavanols, IMPROV, oxygenation in regions of the brain responsible for memory and executive function. This results in clearer thinking and a steadier type of alertness that is not followed by a crash. A third benefit comes from cacao's influence on mood regulation. Cacao contains anandamide, phenylethylamine, and tryptophan, all of which play roles in the production or modulation of neurotransmitters. These compounds can contribute to improved emotional stability, reduced stress, and a more balanced mental state. A study in the Journal of Psychopharmacology notes that cacao consumption can lead to mild but meaningful positive changes in mood. Another benefit is the support of relaxation through cacao's high magnesium content. Magnesium is essential for muscle relaxation and for maintaining healthy nervous system function. Many adults do not consume enough magnesium, and ceremonial cacao is one of the most concentrated natural sources available. Higher magnesium intake has been linked to reduced anxiety and improved sleep quality in multiple clinical studies. Cacao also contains powerful antioxidants. These compounds help protect cells from oxidative stress and may contribute to reduced inflammation. Antioxidant activity in cacao is well documented in research published in the Journal of Agricultural and Food Chemistry. Finally, ceremonial cacao can help regulate energy in a stable and sustainable way. Unlike sugar or caffeine, which create rapid spikes and crashes, cacao delivers a gradual rise in energy due to the combination of theobromine, healthy fats, and minerals. This produces a type of alertness that feels natural and does not lead to fatigue afterward. These benefits occur specifically when cacao is consumed in its pure, minimally processed form. When cacao is heavily processed into chocolate, most of these effects are reduced or eliminated. Ceremonial cacao retains the full range of compounds that support cardiovascular, cognitive, and emotional health. Who should not use cacao? Although ceremonial cacao offers several documented benefits, it is not suitable for everyone. Certain individuals may experience unwanted effects because of cacao's influence on the cardiovascular system, the nervous system, and specific biochemical pathways. The following groups should avoid cacao or use it with caution. The first group includes individuals with uncontrolled high blood pressure. Ceremonial cacao contains theobromine, a compound that increases blood flow and can mildly raise heart rate. For people whose blood pressure is already elevated and not medically managed, this additional stimulation may not be appropriate. A study from the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition notes that theobromine can influence heart rate and vascular dilation, which may be problematic for individuals with severe hypertension. The second group consists of individuals with heart rhythm disorders or those taking medication to manage arrhythmias. Theobromine affects the cardiovascular system and may interfere with the stability of certain heart rhythms. Anyone with a history of irregular heartbeat, tachycardia, or other cardiac conduction issues should consult a healthcare professional before consuming cacao. A third group includes individuals who are highly sensitive to stimulants. Although cacao is gentler than caffeine, it still produces stimulation through theobromine. People who experience anxiety, restlessness, or palpitations from even small amounts of stimulants may react strongly to ceremonial cacao. For these individuals, beginning with a very low amount, such as 5 to 10 grams, it's recommended if they choose to try it at all. The fourth group consists of pregnant women. Cacao is not strictly forbidden during pregnancy, but high doses should be avoided. Theobromine can cross the placenta, and excessive consumption may affect fetal heart rate. Many medical guidelines suggest limiting the intake of stimulant compounds during pregnancy. A moderate amount may be acceptable, but large ceremonial doses of 30 to 40 grams are not advised. Individuals taking monoamine oxidase inhibitor antidepressants should also avoid ceremonial cacao. Cacao contains phenylethylamine and other compounds that influence neurotransmitter activity. When combined with monoamine oxidase inhibitors, these substances can interact in unpredictable ways. This interaction can potentially lead to excessive stimulation of the nervous system or other adverse reactions. People with kidney stones or high levels of oxalate should be cautious because cacao contains oxalates. High oxalate intake can contribute to the formation of certain types of kidney stones. For individuals who are prone to oxalate accumulation, limiting cacao consumption is recommended. Individuals with severe acid reflux or gastroesophageal reflux disease may also react negatively to cacao. Theobromine can relax the lower esophageal sphincter, which increases the likelihood of acid reflux symptoms. For this reason, people with chronic reflux issues may find that cacao worsens their condition. Finally, cacao is not recommended in significant amounts for young children, especially those under 6 years old. Their nervous systems are more sensitive to stimulants, and even small amounts of theobromine may cause overstimulation or sleep disturbances. Understanding these considerations helps ensure that ceremonial cacao is used safely and responsibly. While it offers meaningful benefits for many people, it is not suitable for every individual. And awareness of these limitations is important. How to use cacao in daily life. Ceremonial cacao can be incorporated into daily routines in a practical and sustainable way. Because its effects are gentle and gradual, it is suitable for individuals who want a stable source of mental clarity, emotional grounding, and cardiovascular support without relying on high doses of caffeine or sugar. The key is understanding how to match the dosage and timing to your daily needs. One of the most common ways to use cacao is as a morning drink to support focus and alertness. Theobromine provides a steady rise in energy without the abrupt spike that coffee often produces. For people who experience anxiety or jitteriness from caffeine, cacao can serve as a more balanced alternative. Studies from Harvard University show that cacao flavanols improve cerebral blood flow, which may enhance cognitive performance during tasks that require concentration. Cacao can also be useful before activities that require sustained attention, such as writing, studying, or creative work. Many individuals report that the combination of calmness and mental clarity helps them remain engaged and productive for longer periods. This aligns with research from the Journal of Psychopharmacology, which indicates that cacao compounds can influence mood and cognitive steadiness. Some people choose to consume cacao in the late afternoon as a way to transition from work hours into evening activities. Because cacao supports relaxation through its magnesium content, while still maintaining mental clarity, it can help ease the shift out of a high-pressure environment. For individuals who feel mentally fatigued or emotionally tense at the end of the day, cacao may support a smoother transition. Ceremonial cacao can also be used before reflective practices such as journaling or planning. The increased emotional accessibility produced by cacao's natural compounds can make introspection easier. This effect is not dramatic, but can create a more open and thoughtful state of mind. It is important to avoid using cacao too late in the evening, especially for those sensitive to stimulants. Although theobromine is milder than caffeine, it can still interfere with sleep in some individuals. People who are new to cacao should monitor how their body responds and adjust the timing accordingly. For regular daily use, a moderate amount of 15 to 20 grams is generally sufficient. Higher doses should be reserved for intentional sessions rather than routine consumption. By understanding how cacao influences cognitive function, mood, and physical energy, individuals can incorporate it into their daily lives in a way that aligns with their personal needs and health considerations. Ceremonial cacao is markedly different from the chocolate that most people are familiar with. It is a whole plant substance that retains the natural oils, minerals, and bioactive compounds that are removed or diminished during commercial processing. This difference in preparation results in a product with meaningful physiological effects, rather than a simple, sweet treat. Throughout this session, we explored the nature of ceremonial cacao in detail. Archaeological evidence shows that cacao has been used for more than 3,000 years in Mesoamerican cultures. These early societies valued it because they observed consistent changes in mood, cognitive clarity, and physical awareness after consuming it. Modern research now confirms many of the benefits that ancient people recognized through experience. Ceremonial cacao contains theobromine, anandamide, phenolphthalein, magnesium, flavanols, healthy fats, and other compounds that influence cardiovascular function, cognitive performance, and emotional regulation. These substances work together to create gentle alertness, improved circulation, reduced stress, and clearer mental focus. Studies from institutions such as Harvard University, the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition, and the Journal of Psychopharmacology provide scientific support for these effects. We also examined the difference between ceremonial cacao and commercial chocolate. Chocolate often contains refined sugar, milk powder, vegetable oils, and stabilizers. High heat processing removes most of the flavanols and reduces many of cacao's beneficial compounds. As a result, chocolate delivers pleasure primarily through sugar, while ceremonial cacao delivers physiological effects through its natural chemistry. You learned how to prepare cacao correctly using moderate water temperatures and gradual mixing. This method protects the heat-sensitive antioxidants and ensures that the drink maintains its nutritional value. You also learned how to use cacao in daily life, whether for morning focus, creative work, emotional grounding, or afternoon transition. Finally, it is important to remember that cacao is not suitable for everyone. Individuals with uncontrolled high blood pressure, heart rhythm disorders, extreme stimulant sensitivity, monoamine oxidase inhibitor usage, certain kidney conditions, chronic acid reflux, or pregnancies should use caution or avoid cacao. Understanding these limitations ensures that ceremonial cacao is consumed safely and responsibly. In summary, ceremonial cacao is a scientifically supported, naturally occurring substance that can contribute to cardiovascular health, cognitive clarity, and emotional balance when used appropriately. Its benefits are genuine, its effects are measurable, and its role in human history is well established. This concludes the session on ceremonial cacao. You now have a clear, evidence-based understanding of what it is, how it works, who it serves, and how to use it effectively.